but we just don't say it loud, we don't talk about, and we try to refuse to even look at. And that's today about how you feel guilty when your family trying to rest. What I mean by that is, I know a lot of us, of course, I work full time. Of course, I know I get, of course, time off and all those types of things. I get a break, whether it's the weekend or whether it's the taking time off. But of course, I still can't enjoy it because my mind and body is still staying in responsibility mode. That something has to be done mode. And like I said, I'm definitely not the only one who have, of course, experienced this. I know many of us do, but we just don't talk about it. So like I said, I definitely want to talk about that today in this video because I know I'm not the only one that's going through this. Especially us ladies, I can say that as well. So like I said, definitely, I've had, like I said before, I've had, of course, working full time. I have banker's hours, Monday through Friday. So of course I have my evenings. I'm doing, of course, different things in the evening too, but of course weekends available, that type of thing. And like I said before, I do get time off from work to go take a trip, or I just took a vacation in January, this year, January, 5-day cruise actually. And of course I was gone. Of course I took one last November, I think it's November or October as well. But like I said, I've taken trips. And like I said, what I know is that while I'm going on these trips, and yes, I can be having fun and doing all these things, but I'm still thinking about the responsibilities that's going on back at home. Let me get some water, y'all. Still thinking about the responsibilities going back at home. We have an 18-year-old at home with my partner's daughter, and it is some of that, but of course it is, goodness gracious, when I need to do at work, and what's due when I get back, and all these types of things, what's going on in the family, or whatever the case may be. And then I know that I'm still stressing myself out on vacation when I'm supposed to be resting and having fun, but like I said, which I do. Oh my God, all of a sudden, what is going on? Like I said, I definitely do, but I'm just like, my mind is just still stuck in responsibility mode. And I was just thinking about this. I'm like, what in the world can I do about this? Where did this come from, for one? And what in the world can I do about this? Because this gets draining. Like I said, a lot of y'all may be going through the same thing, but haven't spoken about this. That's why I want to speak about this today. Because I know how draining it is for me, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And like I said, I know that what I've seen is that, of course, like I said, I want to specifically talk to the ladies in this particular video. Because what I have seen is that women are usually like this a lot. I used to hang with guys and, of course, talk to men a lot at work and different places like support groups and like hearing what they're talking about. They don't seem, a lot of them don't seem to, of course, carry this responsibility mindset everywhere that they go like us ladies do. And like I said, I had to think back on this, like, where does this actually come from? And the things that I can think of course, is in our upbringing. How we're raised as children to always be responsible, to help mommy with the dishes, to help mommy set the table, to help mommy cook the food, to help mommy do whatever it is, clean up the toys, and from what I've seen in my family, of course, the men and women are definitely raised different. Of course, like I just said, the women have to, of course, help. The little girls have to help and do all these things, and can't go outside and do what the boys do. I couldn't just go outside whenever I felt like it to. I guess when I was over my family's house, to go out and be out all times of night. But my cousin, of course, he was 2 years older. He could, because he was a boy. And like I said, he didn't have all those responsibilities as of keeping the house and being responsible, being the parent at a young age. I guess I put it that way, because that's what I can relate it to. As far as being a child in the household that's helping the parents in the household, that makes you feel like you're a parent. At least for me, makes you feel like you're an adult or a parent as well, because those responsibilities are on your shoulders. A lot. I know there's probably some women out there, very few that are raised differently, but for many women, this is how it is. We're raised to, of course, take care of the house, and all those, like I said, those are my observations from what I've seen in my own life. And I know you all can relate to that as well. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to that. But like I said, definitely the way that we're raised and the environment that we grow up in as well is more conducive to, like I said, making us feel responsible, making us be responsible adults. And I'm not saying the men are not responsible. I'm not saying that, but they don't have the level of responsibility that I've seen, at least for me and my own family and the people I was around growing up, and the responsibility level when it came to the women, where the girls and the women did this and the boys and the men did this. It seemed like the boys and the men got way more flexibility, way more off time to go do what they wanted to do, but we were at home taking care of the house, and that's very unfair. But like I said, I understand that now. But like I said, that is my observation. But from being raised as a woman, back of course, a family, mother, father, even though it wasn't the best environment, but still that it was still taking place in that environment as well. And even when I went to my family's house for the weekends or for summer trips, things like that, like I said, it definitely happened to a lot of us women like that. We were told how to dress, how to think, how to talk, how to walk, all these kind of things, and not really given a lot of choices as to how we can be otherwise. Besides, take care of this, feed the people, clean up, do all those types of things. Take care of the baby, take care of your younger siblings, take care of your little cousins. I did that too. Raised a lot of kids, actually. That wasn't mine, but like I said, that's okay. That's how I was raised and raised to do, I guess I put it that way. Like I said, that's just my observation as to why it happens, and then we're stuck in this responsibility mindset for the rest of, well, for a lot of our lives, trying to figure out why we're always stressed because the house ain't clean, the food ain't done, the kids ain't pick up the toys, I don't know, the bed ain't made, or whatever it is. Why my shoes don't match my shirt, or my hair look a mess today, but now that's giving me a down mood. We have, like I said, it's a lot of responsibility that we have that we stay just in the mode of all the time. I gotta work, I gotta do this, I gotta get this done, I gotta get that done. And like I said, this is what I've seen for, I'm 49 going on 50 in a few months. So like I said, this is what I've seen throughout my life. Women have, and I have had my whole mindset of responsibility. Everything has to be taken care of by me. By me and the other women in the household, whoever else is around me, if they're able to do the work as well. Like I said, that's the kind of mindset I've been grown to know. And what I understand now is that mindset is not a good mindset at all. At least for me, it's not. It keeps me drained, feeling like I have to always be on and always doing something. And then when I try to go on a vacation, go for a weekend getaway, take a day trip somewhere, I'm still thinking about all the responsibilities back home, like it's like I'm sitting right there in the house, looking at the things. And I'm not even in the house. I'm gone, but still thinking about those things. I'm not even at work while I'm on vacation. I'm gone. I'm still thinking about those things. What I gotta do, what I gotta get this done, I gotta have this done, I gotta get this. And I'm just like, okay, at some point, when does this stop, y'all? Like I said, that's what it looks like in real life to me. When I think about the responsibility mindset and what I grew up knowing, and was and what I was told was the way I was supposed to be as a woman or a little girl or young lady, those types of things. And like I said, I do realize now that was not the right kind of way to really raise children. I guess I put it that way in some aspects. Yes, I understand the responsibility, but at some point, the fun aspect and how to, of course, to do self-care, how to relax, how to take our mind off things was never talked about. And I don't think it's, to my knowledge, still talked about, unless we're talking about it in videos or somebody's talking about it online. Or you see some books about it or that kind of thing, which is many books about it. Otherwise, I don't see that happening. And like I said, it's definitely unfortunate because we feel guilty. Many folks feel guilty about trying to rest. And it's not just taking a vacation. I know I mentioned that, or going on a day trip, but it's also just your weekend from work. When you get off from work, trying to go home and rest. You're tired as I don't know what, but you're still pushing through. Trying to figure out what you got to do next. The house ain't clean. It's not like the house is going to blow up if it's not clean overnight. Yes, it may create some issues if it keeps being not clean with some rodents and infestation. I understand that, but one night is one night of rest and not cleaning the kitchen. It is not going to kill anybody. I know that now. But like I said, it took me a long time to, I'm like I said, 49 years old, going on 50 right now. And it took me a long time to understand and realize that. While I know it in theory, when I look at it in real life, it's definitely not the same for me. I'm panicking. Oh, the house ain't clean, or this ain't done. I'm on vacation, or I should have did this before I left. I should have cleaned up this before I left. I'm thinking about the child, what's going on, and hoping she's doing the right thing. Like I said, we all the time, a lot of times, like I said, trying to rest and relax, and we can't even get a break from any of that. because our mind is still stuck in responsibility mode. And what I found out that helps for me, like I said, I told you what it looks like in real life for me and what I've seen since I've been a kid growing up. But I had to realize that I had to stop. Well, there's no way to stop thinking, I put it that way, but I had to start thinking about myself in a different way and what my responsibilities actually are, and then delegating some of those responsibilities. Right now I'm on a self-care journey, I guess I put it that way. Of course, this goes with self-care as well. For me, trying to learn how to do things for myself instead of everybody else and all these types of things going on, because I'm going to stay in responsibility mode as long as I keep thinking about everybody else and their problems, their issues, the house, the work, and whatever else it is, while I'm trying to get that break and that rest. And while I can easily say that, it's not easily done, because it does take some work to, of course, like I said, to try to shut your mind off and to actually enjoy what it is that you're doing instead of being worried about the responsibilities that you got back at home. It's definitely unfortunate that, like I said, that we're usually raised like that, especially as women. We're definitely raised like that. But like I said, definitely there's some things that I know to do to help me release these things in my head, I guess I put it that way as well, because it is a mindset thing as well. Remembering, like I said, that I matter too. Remembering that I matter, that I need rest, that I need, of course, time off. I need a break. And not just I have to always be on when there's somebody else in the household that can, of course, do some of the work of the household. Or it just won't get done is how it's going to look. It's how it looks nowadays to me and for me. If they ain't got no bowls, no cups, no spoons, no forks, oh well, clean the stuff yourself. That's how it looks today. Yes, every once in a while, yes, I will go on and clean, that kind of thing as well, because I know I do videos about cooking and baking and doing all that stuff, so it has to be a clean kitchen, at least for me to work in it. And to shoot videos and stuff like that in it as well. But what I know is that I don't have to hold myself responsible for always not being clean. There's other folks who can clean it as well. And if they don't clean it, we don't have whatever it is that's dirty. That's how that looks. I know that sounds bad, but like I said, I had to I'm training my mind to actually do these things, and I have been doing these things. I may not like it. It may drive me crazy, but at some point, the driving crazy part in my mind is going to stop. What I also know is, just like I said, as far as taking care of myself, making sure that I'm getting my self-care in. Whether that's, I love, of course, talking on video, love doing that, but of course, the quiet time, whether it's doing word search puzzles, whether that's taking a walk, whether that's exercising, doing something. I love Qigong. I actually did one yesterday, so I love doing that too. But the walking, I definitely love. But of course, it's right now 103 degrees in southern Arizona. Ain't walking nowhere. We in the desert. But of course, we have a treadmill in the apartment complex. I'll be doing that when I get out of work today. But like I said, I have to find the things that, of course, I enjoy, to focus on those things, to get my mind off of things. Whether that's, and that's also, I have adult coloring books at home. I have all types of things. Like I said, arts and crafts that I do. Like I said, I love to bake. I actually have a baking business. Like I said, I love to do stuff like that. That helps me take my mind off things and think about other things in the process. Whatever I'm focused on, whether it's baking, the word puzzle, the exercising, the walking, seeing the birds, hearing the birds chirp, seeing the pretty trees, or the cactuses, whatever it is. Like I said, I had to learn how that I need to start taking care of myself in other ways, besides just always being responsible for every single thing that goes on and that does not go right. And yes, I'm adding them there too, because I know a lot of times we, of course, as parents, we, of course, as wives, we, of course, as sisters, daughters, every time something don't go right, we are always the responsible one. I'm the only child, so I definitely was always the responsible one. And always the adult in the household. If you haven't heard my videos about the traumas and the dramas I grew up in, go back and check those out, y'all. But like I said, definitely knowing that when things didn't go right, I was thinking that I was responsible for those things. And what I know now is that I'm trying to, of course, still work through these things. So like I said, it's not easy, but making sure that I'm not holding myself responsible for somebody else's actions. Whether that means the child, the teenager we have in our house, whether that means my partner, whether that's family, whether that's my job, no matter what it is. I'm not going to hold myself responsible for something I have not done. I can't control nobody else's life. I've been knowing that, trust me. But like I said, when we're thinking always in responsibility mode and mindset, we think that everything that goes wrong, or doggone almost everything that goes wrong, is our fault. We could have done something different. That's still in my head, but like I said, I'm definitely changing that too. And I've been, I was reading Mel Robbins' book. Oh my God, what is it called? Let Go. Oh, I have to do a video about it. But I'm reading her book. I think it's called Let Go, Let It Go, Let Them. It's called Let Them. I bought that book early this year, and that's of course reminded me of the things that I've been overstepping my boundaries with. That's why I feel responsible for everybody else's issues that go wrong, their life that went wrong. So I'm like, oh my God, I could have done something. I could have stepped in. No, that's their life. And while I have always said that and believed that, I still tried to help. And still tried to put some of my responsibility in that situation to help them move along. When it's not my responsibility to even do so. That's their life. Like I said, I've been knowing that. Trust me on that one. But I know that's one of the reasons why I was feeling guilty when it was finally time for me to rest. I'm still thinking that I could have done something in this person's life because I didn't help this person, or it's my responsibility of this and that too. Like I said, I did throw this in there at the end. That's okay. But like I said, y'all understand where I'm coming from, especially if you've been raised to be the strong one and the responsible one for most of your life, or until today. I put it that way. Because that's the person I was deemed too. I'm slowly trying to come out of that, but like I said, definitely, I was deemed that too. And thank you, is it Dragan, Tomik, and Mally, Muhammad? Thank you all for tuning in. There's a user on her too, I can't tell the name, but definitely thank you for being here, Mally, and I thank you, of course, for joining my community. I guess I put it that way as well, and for being here on this first video. So thank you for the support. And y'all, I'm on lunch break, so of course I do have to get back to my responsibilities. But like I said, I definitely want to bring this video today because I know I'm not the only one that's going through these things. Feeling guilty when it's your time to rest. Feeling guilty because you're on vacation, you're wondering what's going on back at the house. You're feeling responsible because your mind cannot rest because you're in responsibility mode. That is a heck of a thing to go through, and I've been through that. I'm still going through that, but I'm slowly coming out of it. I guess I put it that way. With some of the things I talked about in this video today. Folks around me may not like it too much or wonder what's going on, why she ain't doing this no more, because I don't want to. You can do it too. Like I said, I know a lot of times we take on all this responsibility, like I said, especially as women, we do a lot. And once you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you realize that you didn't have to do all those things and take on the responsibility. At some point you realize that, and I had to realize that, and I have finally done so. But like I said, that definitely, like I said, I know this is something that we all think about, we all experience, but we don't say out loud, y'all. And like I said, I want to bring this out because I know this is going to help somebody today. I'm sure that. And like I said, I want to get off this video because like I said, I do have to get back to work because I'm on lunch break. But like I said, definitely, if this is you and you're the one who's feeling always responsible and you cannot even rest when you go on vacation or when you have your weekend off work, just know that you're not alone. I have been there, and like I said, I'm coming out of it, trying to do some things differently. I have been there as well. And you are not alone. Like I said, no, I'm not perfect, so of course I still slip up. Nowadays, I still do that because this is fairly new for me too. I had a burnout season back in November, but about 8 months ago. This is what taught me that all these things that I'm doing, always being responsible and stuck in responsibility mode, this is seeing my therapist and talking to my therapist and my partner and stuff like that is helping me realize all the things that I'm doing that I should not be doing all the time, and everything is on me. I should not have to do those things. So like I said, definitely I wanted to thank all y'all for, like I said, for being here today. And some of y'all are, some of them, you're the only person, I think, Mally, maybe. There's a username in here too. I don't know who it is, but it just says user. But like I said, I guess you're the only one who talking to me. So like I said, definitely thank you. I appreciate that. But like I said, definitely y'all, I have got to get off here to get back into the office. But like I said, I definitely want to bring this video to you today to let you know that you are not alone. That I'm there with you too. I'm definitely there with you too. And you are not alone. Maybe a step or two ahead, but you are not alone in this. So like I said, let me know in the comments. Let me know if this is you. If you want to share your story, feel free to do so. We can definitely chat in the comments, y'all. Peace out, y'all. See y'all later, fam. Take care.